million different things to turn up. Hello, RGL, it's me. I'm here with NME.
I am NME.
And I am not NME. We're gonna do a Disney 2 game race. We had to trim it back a bit for time restraints, but still getting.
No, we didn't. This was always the plan.
This was the plan.
This is an amazing double header.
Yes. We're doing DuckTales 2 and Chippendale 2, but not in that order. Which works out because Enemy's really good at DuckTales 2, and he's also much better than me at Chippendale 2, so it should be a blast. You ready, man?
Yeah.
All right.
Very ready. I don't need a timer or anything, right?
Nah, I got it.
Okay, cool.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
I am assuming you picked Dale.
I'd pick Dale.
You're a big Pitbull fan, as everyone knows.
That's me.
I don't know about you, but I feel lousy.
I have been fighting a cough all day today, and yeah, it's been rough.
Thanks.
But we really appreciate everyone tuning in. Of course, everyone who donated. We'll get those last couple of things raffled off in the coming hours.
It's true. We give you all many thanks.
Many thanks.
Many of the thanks.
Many of the thanks. What I know it popped in my mind when we were planning this out, but what game is that from?
Many thanks?
It's from something, isn't it?
Very thanks.
Maybe it's very thanks.
It's from I want to say like Ghosts and Goblins or Ghouls and Ghosts or something like that.
Very thanks, I remember.
I don't know what many thanks.
Not many. Maybe I just made it up in a fever dream.
Uh-huh. The bosses in this game stink.
Oh yeah. We were looking. I was adjusting the estimate, and I was like, "Oh man, I was really generous with an hour for even 2 of these games." If the bosses go south. So if you've never seen this version of Chippendale, you can charge the attacks by holding left while carrying something, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Me either. I hit 1, but I'm not gonna go crazy.
No! You watery rabbit.
Watery rabbit. It's the actual boss name.
The boss names are really terrible. So, like, the non-canonical boss names are way better. Like, this is, I forget. But, like, later on, there's, the Mad Catter, which is, actually called Card Cat.
Yeah, that's a terrible name.
It's a cat with cards. Wow. But it also wears a top hat and has cards like the Mad Hatter.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, I can't figure that one out. Just call it Card Cat.
Card Cat sounds like something like 6-year-old.
Ornery Ostrich.
Is that actually its name?
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. Whiskey Weasel, which doesn't even seem like it should be above board for a children's game.
Not too much. What's the bat's name, like? Methed out sewer bat?
No, oddly, it's Bruce Wayne.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But because it's, you know, because Disney owns Marvel and not DC, it's spelled different.
Right.
It's spelled with 3 Qs.
Gotta follow the money.
Great. Going well.
I don't even know what
like it.
last time I played Chippendale 2.
Yeah, neither do I. I mean,
why.
besides just like 5 minutes ago.
Right.
But that was the first time. And I'm very glad I did.
Oh yeah, I forgot it was a cat, not an actual bat.
Yeah, right. So it's probably something dumb like Cat Doorman. Because it's not Batman, it's Condor Man, but it's like a cat.
Right.
Remember Condor Man?
Unfortunately, now that you've reminded me, it's like that band that you were reminding me about. Whose name I can't remember now. They sing Hunger Strike?
A Temple of the Dog?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything?
Because I forgot they existed until you brought them up.
What I do, Ant?
That's alright.
My entire life is based on things from the past.
There are worse things to base your entire life off of.
I guess so.
Oh no. Okay.
I realized that was a really weird thing to say when you have kids. This is Whiskey Weasel, by the way.
Speed run for the thing that's not my entire life. Speed run for the past. Oh, I hate the bosses in this game.
Come on. In boss fights, you can only have one attack object on screen at a time, and it has to be completely off screen for the next one to be viable. So it's really obnoxious when the bosses don't cooperate and you can't get rid of the box before the next spawn point comes up. Alright. Wasky Weasel was pretty cool.
Oh, did the timer get stuck? Not bad, everyone. We'll just pretend.
No, we're just in the past.
Yeah.
Hello, I just.
I should remember that because it was in the past.
That's right. You should remember. Well, you can't. What's the opposite of remember? But like you can't foresee it because it already happened.
Hindsight?
No. I mean, you would be seen in hindsight. So you very much can do that.
Oh yeah.
You can't foresee it. You cannot have foresaw it at this point because it already happened.
Right.
That's what I'm getting at.
That's true.
3 minutes is way too long an amount of time for that stage. I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, it's cool. It makes it very easy, but... Oh my god, I actually got the 2 up.
Oh, nice.
That makes me very happy, because I died twice already, I think.
I've also died twice.
Okay.
But I am just now getting to Whiskey Weasel.
Wasky Weasel?
Wasky Weasel.
No! Okay.
Willard G. Weasel is what he prefers to go by. Actually extremely sensitive about his alcoholism and doesn't appreciate being called.
I mean, he drinks whiskey and spits fire. I assume it's Fireball, which is disgusting. Fireball is gross. What is wrong with college kids?
Can you imagine being an alcoholic and your drink of choice is Fireball?
You know what? I would venture to guess that there are 0 alcoholics whose primary drink is Fireball. like literally none.
I would wager that is a safe bet.
The terrible cinnamon flavor kills them way before the liver damage. The first time I ever got sick from alcohol was they used to make this liquor called Avalanche.
Okay.
And it was like cinnamon schnapps, and at the bottom the gimmick was they put like crystals in there.
Okay.
Like Avalanche, right?
Sure.
And I heard stories. I know this is like probably like urban legend stuff. I heard stories like people would break the bottle open and then try to eat the crystals, but they would eat the glass.
Oh no.
And they get all messed up. I know, yeah. So I don't know. That sounds like fake to me. But anyway, I did 5 shots of that in 4 minutes.
Oof.
Yeah, no, that is, and I tasted cinnamon for like the next probably like week.
Oh.
Yeah, horrible, absolutely disgusting.
There's little worse than getting.
So
yeah.
Fireball is Wow, that was a perfect ghost fight. I got no bullshit cycles.
Wow.
I hope you're watching. That was for you, buddy. We dedicate the perfect I am.
I died on the freezer level. So that tells you how my runs
Wait,
going.
that's not a possible thing.
I fell off a ledge.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I thought you meant like you timed out.
Oh no, I'm not.
like, what did you like make a sandwich? what are we doing here?
I was just watching that ghost fight. I was
enamored, but you could have done that and still been
probably
in 3 minutes.
Even if you had shit RNG, I probably still could have done it.
I don't know. There's pretty bad RNG that can happen.
That's fair.
God, that stage, that fucking sucks so bad. Oh, well, I jumped off a ledge too. Or more accurately, I tried to jump onto a ledge and did not make it.
Oh.
It's okay. It's alright. It's fine. Because I got that 2 up. So everything's
Nice.
cool.
Yes.
Ugh.
I also got the 2 up, but I lost one.
Yeah.
I guess so did you, yeah. What am I saying?
Yeah.
Oh, it's been a weekend.
Yeah, seriously. It's been a year.
Between 2020 and 2021, it's been like Kong wasn't far off saying it was like 10 years ago since the anniversary.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
This is ornery ostrich, by the way.
Yeah.
Because he's ornery. If you don't know what that word means, it means he's angry, basically.
I can tell he's angry.
I don't really know what the difference is between angry and ornery.
Well, one of them requires you being an ostrich, I think.
I don't think so.
Oh.
Although I would say that ornery is kind of like a southern term.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's actually true, but we said, like, where do they mostly use the term ornery? I would say in the South.
I would say, yeah, you know, I could see that.
Good. Ornery okra. That's what they make down there. Ornery fried okra.
Well, I've had one bad pattern so far.
I got another 2 up. Amazing.
2 bad patterns so far. Someone needs to find RNG manip for this game already.
Well, the problem is people start playing the game, they're like, the RNG is bullshit, and they quit. So no one's put in the dedication to do that.
That is true.
Although I tried by letting the music loop once on the screen. I was like, hey, maybe this will do something. Like, maybe we can get Bagcat manipulated or something like that. Whoa, fella. Okay. Sorry, I almost got kicked off of this minecart here. As longtime viewers of my streams will know, I love minecart stages. Those are my favorite stages in any video game. What the hell? People think I'm joking when I say that, but I am not joking when I say that. I like auto scrollers, and I like minecarts in particular. I don't know.
That was pretty fun, I think. Like the one in DKC, I like.
It really goes back to Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah.
I love me some Donkey Kong Country and minecarts in that game.
Would you give me some stones, man?
No, it will not. That's why no one runs this game, Ant.
Yeah. Oof.
I don't know. I kind of like RNG in speedruns to an extent. Like, for a game like this, it's tolerable because I don't actually run the game.
Right.
I can see how someone would be utterly miserable. Good lord. This is Card Cat and not Mad Catter, by the way. Because whoever named the bosses in this game was lazy. It should obviously be Mad Catter.
100%.
Like, this is not a matter of opinion. Oh, I bonked him still. Alright, he tried to dodge. You're stupid. Also, he sort of looks like Pink Panther. Sort of, kind of. You know, because he's pink and a cat. Just in case you were putting that all together. It's very subtle. Also, I have no idea whatsoever why Mad Catter is the boss of Westworld, or Western World. Not Westworld. That'd be some... It's an automaton or something. I've never seen Westworld. That's what's going on in that show, right?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, wait, is it not?
No, it is. I just meant...
Okay, all right.
I meant Card Cat being the boss of...
Yeah, no, that's...
I finally beat the ghost.
A lot of RNG. Nice. Goes to the butthole.
Yes.
The Hammer Brothers in this game are sneaky. Sounds like the Beams and Flashman stage, these dogs.
Yeah.
I have Mega Man on my brain still. Are we doing Mega Man 2 after this one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's my favorite
Chip and
Disney
Dale
game.
2, Mega Man 2, and DuckTales 2.
This is the 2 race.
Yes.
If Disney doesn't own
Not
Mega
the
Man
big
yet, they will soon.
Well, Disney owns Capcom now.
Yeah.
So they own Mega Man 2. I saw the end of Rogue One the other day.
Yeah?
I haven't seen the rest of the movie, but I saw the end. And I was like, how did... I mean, like, I know computers exist. I get that. I understand that. So, like, so what I'm about to say, people are going to be like, well, they just use, you know, digitized stuff. But, like, how did they have young Carrie Fisher at the end? And like, in a way that was impressive. Because they sit and they're like, oh, no, I should go show her face. And she turns around and is like, okay, somehow that's Carrie Fisher, but from 1979.
Yeah.
Ow.
Like, it had a little of the Uncanny Valley thing going for it, but not a whole lot. I think it was her daughter's, but like, body, and they digitized her face on it, if I remember correctly. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but...
I was really impressed.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm an idiot.
No, I enjoyed it as well. Rogue One's actually my favorite new Star Wars movie, like, since...
People seem to, like, either love that movie or hate it.
Yeah.
And it's really weird. I think I figured out, like, what my deal is with Star Wars. So, like, I only like the original Star Wars movies. I realize that I don't like Star Wars. I just like those 3 movies.
Right.
Like, because... And it's weird because you're like, oh, well, yeah, I don't like it because it's not what I'm used to from the first 3 movies. But I love Star Wars, and I don't hold canon up on a pedestal for Star Trek. I'm sorry, I said Star Wars again. I don't hold canon up on a pedestal for Star Trek. I love all sorts of different Star Treks.
Sure.
So it's like, how does that make sense? And I figured it out. It's because at no point did any of the different Star Trek series, and because they start off as series, I think this helps too. They didn't start off as movies. but they never really. I mean, yes, TNG definitely has some canonical things, but it's a totally different cast. So they basically set up a framework where it can work with any group of characters. Like, yeah, so there's a ship, usually, not always. Hi DS9, I love you. You're my favorite. But I mean, like, okay, space station ship, and actually there's a ship later. You guys are fine. Anyway, I'm getting into the weeds. The point that I'm trying to make is that they set up a framework, and canon is kind of beside the point. Or it can be. I mean, you can be a crazy canon person if you want, but you don't have to be. Like, it's okay, because you still understand that there's Starfleet and there's Romulans and Klingons and all these other things.
Right.
And this is why something for like Enterprise for me, like a lot of people hate Enterprise, and I think it's just because like, oh, it's so different. And like I went into it, and it took me a while to like want to watch. Well, sure, it took me a while to want to watch anything that wasn't TNG. And then once I watched DS9, I was like, oh my god, what have I been doing all my life not watching this? And instead I did. I love it, obviously. And I love Enterprise. Enterprise is such a good show as long as you don't watch the last episode, because it's the fucking dirt worst of anything in Star Wars.
Star Trek.
Star Trek, thank you. We're going to bring this back to Star Wars in a second. So we'll get there. Wow. Okay, I'm doing a bad job of attacking Fat Cat. I'm 0 for 2 so far. So, like, I mean, if canon is followed, that's great. That's kind of like a bonus. But if it's not, that's fine, because you still, like, understand the rules of engagement for Star Trek.
Right.
And with Star Wars, they pretty much... And this is why I think I would like stuff like Rogue One and, like, theoretically The Mandalorian, but there's no chance I'm watching The Mandalorian.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it's so good. Okay, enjoy your Gina Carano and Sasha. What is with them casting women that are like anti-vaxxers and like Nazis and stuff? Like, what the heck?
I gotta separate the.
I see. I'm really bad at that. Like, yeah. I don't like. Once you kind of like take the mask off about being a real shithead, it's tough. You know what the one exception for me for that is? And I don't know. I mean, your mileage may vary about how like hypocritical I am on this one, but like, I game overed on Fat Cat. That really sucks.
No.
I wasn't really aware that was a concern. Okay, well, now having had that happen, I'm like debating whether or not I wanted to finish that previous sentence I was starting. I don't think it would get me into any trouble or anything, but you know, maybe discretion is the better part of valor on that one. But yeah, with Star Wars, I don't think I finished my thought actually. But like, you know, you go from like because George Lucas is a dipshit, and he's like, it was always part of a series, and there was really 4, 5, and 6, so now we're gonna make the prequels, and they're trash. But like, that enforces that it has to be canonical, so all the dumb shit that they retcon in, and like, which is to say nothing about the terrible wooden acting, which is its own problem.
Yeah.
I don't know how you make Natalie Portman suck, but they found a way. And Sam Jackson, like, what are you doing?
Yep.
Anyway, but is it like you can't really separate the canon from that? So it's like, okay, wait, so now this is all supposed to be all one thing, and so now the stuff that I really liked is kind of made worse in hindsight, and that sucks. And then you feel like an asshole for liking it in the first place on some level. Or we have to be one of those weirdos that just defends everything. Like, no, well, it's actually good because, it just sucks. Come on. It's okay to take the L on that one. We all wanted to like the prequels. We all like, yes, okay, that first one sucked, but the second one's gonna be really good. Yoda fights and stuff. You know, it's like, okay, that sucked too, but the third one's gonna be really good, and it'll make it all really. And people try to tell you that the third of the prequels was that was the good one though. It was really good. Like, no, it wasn't. Shut up. It sucked. It all sucked. But, like, I get it. We all wanted them to be good. Everyone that was very glass half full on that. And I was as well. I really wanted to, like, I really hoped every time. Hope against hope. Like, this is going to be the one. Everything's going to come together. It's going to be great. And then, see, really the moment for me was when I watched, what? I didn't even know that could happen.
What happened?
So Fat Cat drops his little time bomb thing, and I ran to it while it was like bouncing off the ground, and it like knocked me unconscious, and then it disappeared from the screen before I could use it.
Oh.
I've never seen that one before. But
I don't think I have either.
No, I didn't know that was a possibility. So the moment for me with Star Wars where I realized, like, you know, maybe these are just not for me. Maybe it's a me problem, not like really a Star Wars problem. Maybe I just don't like Star Wars. I only like the first three because they're really good, independent of how much you like Star Wars or sci-fi or whatever. I do love me some sci-fi. But I watched the first of the sequel movies, so I don't even remember what it's called, Rise of the Rey Walker or whatever. And I watched it. I'm like, okay, so they're remaking A New Hope. Got it.
Yeah.
And I watched that. I was like, okay. I've seen A New Hope. I own a copy of it. It's better than this one. So, you know, and I had my own kind of issues with the film, but like nothing, no great shakes. It was just like, weren't so good. But it wasn't like the prequels or anything where it's like, ooh, well, maybe get him next time, Chief.
Right.
It occurred to me, I was like, you know what, maybe I don't need to see any more of the sequel. And I have not. That was the last one I saw. And by most accounts, that was a very good decision for me.
It certainly was.
It seems like people really have strong opinions, and you know, in both directions again. But it sort of strikes me that the people who are really adamant about the sequel movies being really good may be the same people that think the prequels or really want to tell you that the prequels are actually awesome.
Right.
Here's why Jar Jar Binks is really the best character in Star Wars. You know, like those type of people. I don't know for sure because, again, I haven't seen any of them. But I know enough about what happened. I know that they didn't make, what's his name? Finn? Is that his name?
Yeah.
I know that they didn't make Finn a Jedi, which, if you watch that first one of the sequels, pretty well telegraphed that they were going to do that, and then apparently didn't do that. So, for me, if I was to watch all three of those movies and to not have that payoff, I personally, as someone who likes a story that makes sense, would be quite angry. Now, I don't know if they spent the other, 6.5 hours or whatever of those movies explaining that in excruciating detail, why it makes no sense for Finn to have become a Jedi, and maybe they did. But I think it was just fine for me as an individual to not watch any more Star Wars. And consequently, I have not seen anything like Rogue One or Mandalorian or
Solo.
What?
The Solo movie.
Yeah, or Solo, which I feel like I'm a big Donald Glover fan. I should probably watch Solo, but I haven't. But I think the non-canonical stuff, although I guess Solo is kind of, again, you're retconning canon.
Yeah.
So that's always weird.
I think they would have, done very... Construction Lizard is getting me. I assume that's its name, because, terrible names.
I don't know what its name is. It probably is called Construction Lizard.
Anyways, I feel like they have this giant world, and the problem with the movies is that, they all focused, the first 6, you could argue, okay, they all focused on Anakin's story, whatever. But then, the sequels also had to be in that same group of people,
yeah.
Really? The story's done, and especially the sequels, completely shat on the Vader redemption arc,
Yeah.
It's what's the point? You just ruined the first 6 movies, or you ruined the first 3 movies because his redemption. I mean, if you hold canon, yeah. But I don't know. I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I grew up reading a lot of the books. I enjoyed a lot of the EU, and when Disney took it over, I was like, no, they got money and things. It'll be fine. It wasn't fine.
I mean, it seemed like it would have to be an improvement, you know? I mean, I certainly thought, I was like, oh, good. It's not George Lucas anymore. It's great. And it's so funny because I never really realized, because I'm kind of a later to come to a Star Trek person, but like there's a lot of, not to the same degree, but there's a lot of that antipathy towards the creator in Star Trek as there is in Star Wars. It's just that Gene Roddenberry had the good sense to die. You know what I'm saying? Like when a creator kind of becomes a detriment to the series, those are the two options. They can keep a hold of the series and become, it's like Batman. You either die the hero or live long enough to become the villain.
Yeah.
The same thing with creative stuff.
Oh yeah.
But Gene Roddenberry died during TNG, so he's kind of the sainted Gene Roddenberry. But really, if you look at the Star Trek that he wrote, it ain't about much.
Right.
He kind of came up with an awesome idea and then put it in the hands of his betters, and they did great stuff with it.
Which is how Star Wars was.
Yes, yeah, because the Star Wars aren't written by George Lucas.
Yep.
Or directed by George Lucas. Who directed Empire Strikes Back, Ant?
Irvin Kershner, not George Lucas.
Yeah, that's right, Ant.
George Lucas, great producer, terrible director.
Like, you can have really good ideas, but then other people can bring them to life in a much better way, which I sort of think is a metaphor for something we're involved with. I've been thinking about that lately, but it's funny because I do think of Gene Roddenberry in a pretty glowing terms, and it's so weird because I think there's a lot more nuance to him than with George Lucas, and in some ways he's way worse because I don't know that George Lucas has ever been a particularly problematic person.
Right.
He's just kind of. He had the audacity to have a really good idea that people really loved, and then it stopped being as good as they remembered it being.
Yeah.
Which, is not much of a crime when you think about it. but somehow is also the worst crime.
Yeah. I think, because George Lucas has done some movies that I like that weren't Star Wars. I liked Willow. But he wasn't the director on Willow. But he produced it. Yeah, I liked THX 1138. I like American Graffiti. They're all fine movies, American.
Plus he had a hand in Indiana Jones, and the first three of those movies are amazing.
Yeah, but when two amazing. One is.
It's alright.
Yeah, it's a good movie, but
it's fine.
Yeah. But once he, was this incredibly powerful figure and decided to just do everything himself, then nobody would dare say no to him. That's when the issue comes about. I don't know. I could go on for hours and hours about Star Wars, and I would just say that you should separate the art from the artist and allow yourself to enjoy The Mandalorian, because it's really fucking good. And I say that as somebody who did not. I like the prequels better than the sequel movies. Wow. Yeah.
Wow, dude.
I'm
pretty confident you don't like the prequels because, you're not a dumbass.
Yeah, I don't like the prequels, but I like them better than, because they're not good movies, but they're good Star Wars movies.
A younger person watching this, which is odd. God bless you. Thank you. If you're a younger person, you're watching this, and you grew up with the prequels and you like them, I don't mean any disrespect. I really don't. It's I understand that part of it is a generational component too.
Yeah, like what you like.
It's okay. You like what you like. Same with video games or really any art or media. That's just how it goes. So just because I say very emphatically that I think it sucks, that doesn't mean I think it's anyone who likes it is dumb. Not really. Anyone my age who likes it maybe is a little weird, but
yeah, no, I don't like the prequels, but I would rather watch them than the sequel movies.
Man.
Are you kidding? I got 99 Ranger tiles before Fat Cat. And I have no lives.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, I game over on Fat Cat too, so you're fine.
Yeah.
It's so funny because with Star Trek, I think it's because, you know, it's like the first version of the show that I shouldn't say show, because that's kind of the point I'm trying to make here. Like, I never watched the movies until fairly recently. I mean, it's been a while now. Although I am going back and watching all the original series movies. Because for me, the original series is the one I like the least because it's so dated now.
Right.
And like, don't get me wrong, I appreciate like the original cast, and obviously I appreciate it for existing and thus allowing all of the rest of Star Trek to exist. I just don't. It's like I kind of have to force myself to watch it. You know, That's not great. Like you were talking about you're like, hey, what original series Star Trek show should I watch? I was like, does that have to be the original series? Because you don't want me to recommend any other series episodes for you.
I watched a couple of the original series, and I can see where you're.
Yeah. It's hard to like. It's funny because I imagine probably if you're a kid nowadays and you watch TNG, you'd kind of feel that way to some extent as well. Although they've done a pretty good job of remastering TNG in some ways. But it's, obviously it's predated now too. But I don't know, there's like a certain quality to it where it does, even though it's like really dated, it doesn't feel like, oh, we totally just slapped some blinking lights onto some cardboard and hope for the best. Like there was a little bit higher production values by the time we hit the late 80s.
Right.
But I mean, you have Spock, so Spock's
pretty rad.
Spock is awesome, Sue is awesome, Uhura is awesome. And I know it's very fashionable to make fun of William Shatner as Kirk, but I think William Shatner as Kirk is pretty rad.
Yeah, it was the first time I had watched any Star Trek was when I asked you about.
I didn't know how Star Trek first. It's just like of all the Trek to get into, that would not be how I would steer you.
Yeah.
If you were doing this for like personal reasons.
Yeah. And I think I'll probably watch some more of TNG because I watched an episode of that.
Which episode did you watch? Do you know?
The language one. I don't remember.
Oh,
the name
Dharma.
of it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Where he speaks in metaphors.
Yeah.
See, everyone loves that episode, or I shouldn't say everyone. That's a very highly revered episode, and I think it's really stupid because the premise of, okay, first of all, it takes them like the entire episode to figure out that they speak in metaphors. Second of all, you can speak in metaphors, but if you don't have a common root language, it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Like if some Chinese people started speaking in Mandarin, and they were just using metaphors, you wouldn't be able to like
pick up on it.
Work.
Right.
Like, you wouldn't be like, oh, okay, metaphor, sure. Like they were still speaking in English. They were just using words you hadn't heard before. Like,
right.
It's a really dumb conceit to me, to my brain. but like, okay.
It was.
Like, I get why you think it's really good, but I think it's really hokey.
Yeah, and I can see that. I enjoyed it, but you know, I didn't think it was like mind blowing or anything.
I still like it. Like if you were saying, "Hey, Enemy, put together your list of best TNG episodes," that would not be on my list, and it's on a lot of people's lists.
Totally understand, but I did like the tone of that series. At least the one episode I saw much more than the original series. The original series, not bad, but just so like campy and not good campy. Like I like.
Well, I mean,
there are moments. Yeah.
It depends. Like it's weird because usually Trek is not at its best in its first season, and original series is definitely. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm drinking soda. The original series is definitely the best in the first season.
Sure.
Because like they just kept getting money taken from them every subsequent season.
Right.
So like you get fewer and fewer good episodes per season. But yeah, it's like sometimes the camp is good, but like all this stuff, like there's like, really the best episodes of original series are like the ones that aren't space related.
Right.
And like to me, I'm like, no, I don't want that. Like the Trelane episode, and like when they're in the Wild West and stuff, and or like when they go back in time to San Francisco. It's like those are the best episodes, huh? Which actually, for me, I like Space Seed, which that again, that's like the origin sort of con. But yeah, and I like Trouble with Tribbles because everyone liked that.
Yeah, that was a fun episode.
Yeah, like that, I mean that's super campy, but like in a way that's okay, I think.
Yeah, it worked for her.
Yeah. Like it's.
Oh, did you finish?
Totally different thing. I did. Who cares?
Oh, GG.
We're having a chat. There's more important things. We're talking Star Trek now. But yeah, like it's and you get that like. I don't know what you call that era of TV. Is that the golden era of TV or whatever? But like it's you get that like real kind of wooden acting from a lot of like not the main cast, but like everyone else who's not the main cast has that like 60s era acting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It makes me just
how to emote properly.
Yeah, it just always makes me feel like it's summer vacation. My dad's working, my mom's working, I'm with my grandmother and she's watching, her old TV, and that style of TV always brings me back to that.
Yeah.
So it just makes me sleepy because I think about just lying around the house.
I mean, I do often watch Star Trek when I'm trying to fall asleep, but at this point, I've seen all of them, so it's like it's very comforting, but also I don't have to pay any attention because I know them all.
Right.
Except for TOS, and TOS I don't care enough about. But it's funny because that's the original stuff, and like it's the opposite of Star Wars. Because I'm like, this is the first Star Wars, and this is how it's supposed to be. And because I guess because I got in with TNG, I don't have that same like, it has to be like this, which is funny because Star Trek fans are insane in general. Like every new version of Star Trek, you always have, and that's with anything. But like with Star Trek, this wasn't like the old version of Star Trek, and then TNG come out, and after it hit stride, like everyone loved TNG, and it became the predominant Star Trek. And then like DS9 came out, it can't be on a space station. You can't have a black cap with the whole separate thing, obviously. You can't have a woman first officer, all that stuff. And then obviously with Voyager having a female captain and everything.
And that was just Gene Roddenberry saying all that. Never mind what the fans were saying.
Yeah, it's Gene Roddenberry was designated by those two codes, but it's probably why DS9 is so good. Not because he died, but because he had very strong edicts about like, which they got away from in TNG by season 2, really. Really the end of season 1, where you couldn't, like, none of the main crew could have any conflict with each other. And I don't know if you know this, but conflict kind of drives stories.
Kind of important in
storytelling, So, which, like, his heart was in the right place. He was trying to come up with this utopian society, but kind of makes for lousy television.
Yeah. If everyone gets along, like, it's just a window into their day.
What stories are you telling? Yeah. But they came up with some ways to get around it, and then they just, by like season 3 especially, they're like, conflict, whatever. he's kind of out of the picture anyway. And DS9 is just all conflict all the time, which is why it's awesome. And there's long-term storytelling. See, TNG is always like Alien of the Week.
Right.
Which is like that's fine. That's good. I mean, it's not all, but there's some stuff that runs throughout the series. But
Yeah, that's.
DS9 is basically like, hey, we're telling a story, and it's not quite to the level of modern day TV where everything's serialized and tells one big story, but it's pretty good for the time. Pretty good.
That's what I liked best about X-Files was there was a good mix. Really?
Too young. I know, which is weird because you're like younger than me. But
I didn't watch it till I was an adult, so.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Now my brother was into it. My brother's 5 years older than me, so he was way into it, and it was just not a show that I was ever interested in. My wife loved it when we were growing up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was not me. That was not for me.
If you like sci-fi, I think it's a good
I think
series.
it's the wrong type of sci-fi for me. I like sci-fi that is like in space.
That's fair.
Earth is so boring. I get to see Earth in everywhere. I really like the original series movies, though. Pretty much all of them, except for the first one. The first one is so slow. I really want to like it. I think there's some really good qualities, but there's like a 3.5 minute sequence where they just get on basically a tram and travel to the Enterprise.
Oy.
And nothing happened. They just play, orchestral music, like the theme for the movie. And there's no dialogue or anything. It's just Scotty and Kirk going to the ship.
Fantastic.
Ooh, we're really padding the runtime, huh, folks?
All right, I finished Chip 'n Dale 2.
Awesome.
That's not the word I would choose to describe that run, but I appreciate it.
No, I think it's awesome that you're done with that bullshit.
I know that
you're probably feeling.
Yeah. I can keep going, but if you want to call it GG, then GG.
I mean, I could talk Star Trek all night and all day and for the rest of the time, but I imagine you probably want to keep things rolling too, so that's fine.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, we can keep it moving.
Well, thank you
so much.
Thank you. 40 minutes of Star Trek talk with ducks in the background.
Yeah, chat. I didn't have chat open, so hopefully we didn't run everyone off. We just got to talking about stuff we liked or didn't like.
There was
in some cases.
Yeah, there was good interaction, good chat activity with that talk. So I think
talk to me about Star Trek, please just find me on Discord or Twitter or whatever, because I love Star Trek. I don't have enough people to talk with about. So let me know. And I like the new Star Trek too. Discovery's awesome. I don't care what anyone says. Discovery is a really cool show. Although I haven't seen the last 2 seasons, including the current one. I saw the first 2. I'm waiting to get back to a Paramount Plus account. But anyway, yeah, I love Discovery. Picard we don't talk about. But yeah, Discovery's awesome. So we can talk some Trek.
We'll talk some Trek.
Thanks for talking Trek with me, because I know that's not your favorite. But thanks for talking Star Wars with me too.
Anytime, man. Anytime. It was a lot of fun. So thank you.
Yeah.
Stick around. We'll be back with Chip 'n Dale 1 co-op. Me and Kavik, and then a Bobo's Big Adventure. So some more fun stuff coming your way. Stay tuned.